Everybody shake it off.
Hopefully by
We're
the time...
in a new world order. Get used to it. Life as you know it is over.
Yeah, life as you know it is over, and a new life has begun. A new
And
era.
hopefully you like it.
Yeah, hopefully you like it. Hopefully everybody's happy.
Hopefully you like eating mud and bugs.
We got a 10% universal tariff on all imports.
They've been treating us unfair.
They've been treating us very unfairly, and additional reciprocal higher tariffs on countries with the highest trade deficits effective April 9th.
Every time they start to get what they want, they're like, no, it's more.
Yeah.
Non-tariff cheating.
You dirty Vietnamese are cheating too much. Losing money costs you nothing.
It actually costs you a lot.
Yeah, it costs you the
all
amount
the money
that you
you've
lost. Moron, if I have $100 and I lose 50, I've lost $50.
Trumponomics is when you constantly go to the burger restaurant and buy lots and lots of burgers and eat the burgers, and then you say, this burger restaurant is really screwing me over. They never buy any of my products. I don't work or sell any products. Also, more burgers, please.
That's pretty good. Oh boy, gang, we got a heck of an episode for you today. We're going to be talking all about the tariffs, what's going on with them.
We're going to catch you up on what Trump did. We're going to catch you up on how people are responding, how the billionaires are responding, which billionaires are crying
what
about
you
it,
need to know about it, how it affects you.
the real impact to the economy. We're getting into all of it.
Yeah, and if you get lost, check the chapters and stay tuned because I'm going to be talking about 5 stocks that I actually kind of like in this market. But first, before we do that, just a reminder that Austin tickets for the Austin, Texas show are now on sale. You can find the link in the description. And while you're at it, hey, give this video a like. Won't you please? And if you're listening, why don't you go over to YouTube and give the video a like? It helps us out. Leave a comment, why don't you? And hey, while you're at it, head over to benandemilshow.com. We got all our bonus content up there, and this week's bonus is going to be a real fun one. They always
and other
are.
features as well. I mean, we're going to Portland this weekend for a live show. I'm already seeing people in the Reddit being like, does anyone have 2 tickets? I slept on it and I didn't buy tickets.
You've been signed up. You would have gotten them first.
Yeah, a lot of these shows sell out, and we put the ticket link on up for members first, so they get their first crack at it. So if that interests you, head on over to benandemilshow.com.
All right, so let's get right into it, shall we? Oh my gosh. What? What's so funny?
Nothing.
Is it because you were flipping me the bird?
No.
You should have seen it. He was flipping me the bird
No.
before all this stuff. Oh, man. All right, everybody shake it off, okay? Shake it
Everybody
out.
shake it off.
Hopefully by
We're
the time...
in a new world order. Get used to it.
Yeah.
Life as you know it is over.
Yeah, life as you know it is over, and a new life has begun. A new
And
era.
hopefully you like it.
Yeah, hopefully you like it. Hopefully everybody's happy.
Hopefully you like eating mud and bugs.
I like mud and bugs. What's the matter with mud and bugs? Just pretend it's chocolate and chocolate in the shape of bugs.
And gummy worms.
And gummy worms, yeah.
A mud pie, if you will.
Man. God's mistake, huh? Worms.
No, they're actually pretty helpful for all kinds of things. So
okay,
respect your worms.
That's a very crunchy thing of you to say. You're not beating the crunchy allegations. So hopefully by the time this comes out, the world will not have imploded. I don't personally think it will.
But I do think things could be different. This will come out on Thursday.
On Thursday.
And it is Tuesday afternoon now, and I do think things could be different because they're different all the time. But here's where we are now.
I am short some puts on the S&P 500 for tomorrow, meaning I will lose money if the market continues to drop tomorrow. So like, here's where the S&P is. I'm short these puts up here, the 5100s. So I need the market to bounce at least to that level so that I can cover my short at a lower price, buy back in at a lower price. I did it today. I did it overnight, and I cleaned up, baby. Cleaned up.
Well, we'll get into that.
Felt good. Yeah, we'll get into that.
That's a crazy bet because, well, we'll talk about it.
So let's recap what's going on with the tariffs, all right? We got a 10% universal tariff on all imports.
They've been treating us unfair.
They've been treating us very unfairly, and additional reciprocal higher tariffs on countries with the highest trade deficits effective April 9th. With the
you guys
authority,
all saw the Rose Garden
Yeah.
speech. He came out with his ridiculous poster full of numbers that don't make sense, countries that have no
penguins.
people on them. It's all going to be a mess. And they've been releasing their formula, which is basically just this simplistic formula based on trade deficits, and he wants it to all be even, because if we are buying more from a country than we're selling, we are getting ripped off.
Yeah, and the best way to put it is, hey, you sell me more. I saw a guy on Twitter put it perfectly.
Oh, there's been a ton of
you sell me more
if
birdseed.
you go to the grocery store,
yeah,
and you buy a bunch of groceries from them, and you're doing it constantly. Well,
there's a trade
kind
deficit.
The grocery store is ripping you off. They're not buying any of your shit.
That's a really good way of putting it. That's how asinine this is. Yeah.
There are so many. I mean, I think I have one. There are so many that people are posting where it's just like
fun little takes on this.
Yeah, fun little like examples of him just like not understanding what he's doing.
I like the birdseed one. This guy said, I buy a lot of birdseed from you, but I don't see you buying any birdseed from me. That's unfair. Why aren't you buying birdseed from me at an even rate that I'm buying birdseed from you?
Trumponomics, this is from Vincent Bevins. Trumponomics is when you constantly go to the burger restaurant and buy lots and lots of burgers and eat the burgers, and then you say, this burger restaurant is really screwing me over. They never buy any of my products. And then in parentheses, I don't work or sell any products. Also, more burgers, please.
That's pretty dang good. That's pretty good. Yeah, so that's what a lot of these additional reciprocal higher tariffs
and he's
are
not
based
kidding,
on.
like, because companies have been trying to make deals and being like, okay, look, we'll ease off on the tariffs. And he's like, no, even out the trade.
Yeah, and it's just, that's impossible. Before we started rolling, I was thinking, since it does seem to be such an arbitrary, the way that they've calculated the actual tariff rates seems like such arbitrary math, that I thought of the Big Shack. For those of you who don't know, Big Shack is a UK-based rapper, and he's got this famous freestyle, and in it he says 2 + 2 is 4 - 1 is 3, quick maths. And it reminds me of that.
That reminds me of that, because that makes sense, though, at least.
It is consistent math, but it's just like, yeah, okay, great.
Oh, well, I guess, yeah, the math is consistent. It's just erroneous. It's based on a false premise. It's
I want to go on a quick tangent. So I was at this bachelorette joint party this weekend, and
joint party, is that when like people roll their own joints?
That's pretty well, dude. You own my kick right now.
Yeah, sorry.
So yeah, we did smoke a lot of joints, but we went to dinner, all 20 of us, and like 20 minutes before the check came, I asked the people at my table. There were 4 or 5 of us sitting there, and I said, "Hey, let's take turns guessing what we think the check is going to be." And I threw out $1,400. And then friend of the show, Sydney Emanuel, said, "Okay, wait, let me make my guess." And she threw out a number, I think, and I was like, "How'd you get to that?" And she said, "Well, okay, so 20 people times 20 is 400, and multiply that, get 800." And I started crying laughing. That's literally what she said. 20 times 20 is 400. Multiply that and you get 800. And I was like, wait, why did you do that? Why did you start? There's 20 people, but why did you multiply that by 20? What is the 20 that you're getting to 400? And then why just multiply 400? Multiply that, get 800. Okay, why are we doing all of these steps? Just make your guess. And we all were in hysterics laughing. Yes, we had eaten a little bit of mushrooms, but oh man, I was crying. And so was she, because it was just very funny. She was like, I'm going to do some girl math and show you how I arrived at that conclusion. And it truly made no sense. Just like Trump's tariffs calculations.
That was Ben's tangent, everybody.
Anyway, so...
but yeah, so he releases all these things. He goes golfing for the weekend.
Which was such a fucking bold move.
Yeah. So he released it. He waited for the market to close before doing his little speech. Market does not like what they see. He welcomes people to make deals. Everyone knows he's a deal maker. Trump's a deal maker.
They're now saying that they've got over 50 countries are clamoring to make a deal. And for some reason, the Trump administration is not in any kind of rush. They're letting them sweat it a little bit, if you want to even fucking believe them.
Yeah, that's so. He went golfing. I think he won his golf tournament. So
That's great.
Congratulations to Trump.
That's huge.
If you click on that, some countries are working on deals. This is it's from Fox News, which is basically just state-run media at this point. So we'll see. But they've got a list of all the countries that are apparently Israel's working with them. Netanyahu came. Japan made the same. They said, "Look, we'll fly in to make a deal."
Wow.
UK wants to make a deal. Vietnam. It's all
Cambodia, Thailand.
Yeah,
India, South Korea, Australia, of course, Argentina, Canada, Mexico, Switzerland, Malaysia, European Union, Indonesia. So what's the holdup?
But it's a very confusing thing, right? So like I was alluding to, people are saying like, okay, what, like this is going to cause so much chaos. We'll just eliminate all the tariffs like you want. It's not enough. White House trade advisor Pete Navarro said yesterday that Vietnam's offer to eliminate tariffs on all U.S. products wasn't enough. Let's take Vietnam. When they come to us and say, we'll go to zero tariffs, that means nothing to us because it's the non-tariff cheating that matters. They're just like, every time they start to get what they want, they're like, no, it's more.
Yeah.
Non-tariff cheating.
You dirty Vietnamese are cheating too much.
They think that Chinese products are now being routed through Vietnam. They also want to like crack down on intellectual property theft and the value-added tax. There's
they hate the VAT.
But
China,
most alarmingly,
what?
The one they want to make a deal so bad,
China,
is not into it.
China's not into it. Yeah, Trump posted on social media that unless China gets rid of their retaliatory 34% tariff on United States goods that it announced to counter our latest tariff, he'd slap another 50% import tax on Chinese products and would refuse to enter talks. And I think as of this recording,
he's
Trump
already
done it. It's up to 104%.
At midnight, 104% tariffs on China.
All right, cool. Well, at least we're going to get rich. At least we're all going to get rich again. That's pretty good. All right, hey guys, we want to take a quick break to talk a little bit about something that I think all men can relate to.
Especially these two guys.
Certainly not us, but hey guys, listen.
We appreciate the benefits of a full head of hair.
We do appreciate the benefits of a full head of hair.
We never take that for granted.
No, we don't. But if you're starting to notice your hair thinning a little bit when you look in the mirror, you're not alone. Life gets busier and busier, and it can feel like there's not enough time in the day to do something about it. What you're going to want to do is try Hims and their hair loss solutions. You can avoid jumping through a bunch of frustrating hoops and get access to treatment without even leaving your home. How, you may ask? Well, Hims provides you with convenient access to a range of hair loss treatments that work, all from the comfort of your couch.
Hims makes treating hair loss simple with doctor-trusted options and clinically proven ingredients like finasteride and minoxidil that can regrow hair in as little as 3 to 6 months.
I've been using minoxidil on my face famously for 2 years, and it's grown hair where I had no hair before.
You can choose from personalized chewable oral spray and serum treatments to find what works best for you. The process is simple and 100% online. No uncomfortable doctor's visits. Isn't that the best part? You answer a few questions, and a medical provider will determine if treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your treatment is sent directly to you for free.
You don't need insurance. Hims has hundreds of thousands of trusted subscribers, and they can help you get your confidence back too with visibly thicker and fuller hair. So, what you're going to want to do is start your free trial online. Visit today at hims.com/bays. That's HIMS.com/BAES for your personalized hair loss treatment options. HIMS.com/bays. Results vary based on studies of topical and oral minoxidil and finasteride. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information. So
the president says China wants to make a deal badly, but they don't know how to get it started.
Yeah.
What they don't seem eager to make a deal with you, pal.
Yeah, they actually said, like their official state media said that they're willing they're willing to fight to the end. Is what they said. Fight to the end.
I don't doubt it.
Let's do it.
And not only that, I think Trump is really overplaying his hand. I think he thinks that he's in a much better situation than he is.
Yeah.
I think that China is way better suited to ride out this trade war than the U.S. is. I think if he wants to go this route, we're going to feel a lot of pain. And I think China they're much more nimble than us. They have this, one party system. They're in control of everything. They're in control of their,
everybody's behind them.
Yeah. Everyone's behind them. They're in control of their banking system. They can take quick measures. I think they've already floated stuff like, injections of cash to make sure that their own people can buy these goods that they now are going to not, because America is a huge customer for them. There's no denying it, but they've also proven in other sectors that they can do without the American sector. BYD, they're selling more electric vehicles than Tesla,
and they're better. They're much better.
They're better.
They're better.
And
they just got approved for air taxis, and that iShowSpeed just rode in one.
And
his reaction was pretty epic.
I don't think Trump knows what he's doing here.
I get that feeling that he has no effing idea what he's doing. Nobody really knows what he's doing. Nobody has a clue, which is part of four-dimensional chess, I suppose.
And part of why the market did what it did.
Yeah. Part of why the market did be doing what it do. I tried explaining all this to a couple people who asked me about it last night while I was on mushroom chocolate. It was very hard.
You were on mushroom chocolate last night?
No, or this weekend. Sorry, this weekend. I was standing there going, okay, and just trying my darndest to explain it, and I couldn't do it. And I had a beer in my hand.
Explained?
Just what's going on with all this stuff.
Yeah.
The tariffs.
I think part of the problem is that if you are seeking some kind of logical explanation, you are. It's a fool's errand. This is a madman. He's It's all nonsense.
Yeah. Well, speaking of nonsense, let's get into how the market has reacted so far. We had some massive drops all last week that were historic. Let's take a look at this. This is what I love about data nerds. So this guy Ryan Cummings showed that the past 2 days as of last week had been nothing short of historically bad. They were worse than 99.9% of other trading days since 1929. It was the fifth worst 2-day window for stocks since 1945. It is arguably the singular major drawdown resulting from a policy choice by the president. You can see there's a massive bell curve showing historical 2-day returns. Oh, what day was that? April 4th, April 3rd. So April 3rd was worse than 99.6% of trading days since 1929 and the 95th worst day of all time out of 24,000 days and the 35th worst day since 1945. Isn't that a fun stat? Pretty fun, huh? It was that bad, but hey, we're all still breathing. I'm not broke.
Yet.
Yeah. So this week started bad yesterday, which is 3 days ago for you guys, yesterday for us.
We're talking about Monday.
Monday. It started bad, but then I started the day down big. I was pooping in my pants. So there I am.
I had a very funny experience with pooping because I literally, I got up in the morning and I'm on the toilet and I was so curious what was going to happen.
Yeah, buddy, every time I sit on the toilet, I'm curious what's going to happen.
I just woken up and I'm like, what did the markets do?
Yeah.
So I'm looking and there's this big spike. So before I even opened Twitter or saw any news stuff, I'm going, what the hell happened there? Big spike. And then drop.
Not quite. So I started the day down over $100,000 in my trading account. And I was like, this is going to be a crappy week. This is just a crappy start to a Monday. It's like 6:30 in the morning. I'm just sitting there going, man. And yeah, we had this guy. So there's this fella out there whose on Twitter is Delta1. And his username is Walter Bloomberg. And
he's like one of those Twitter aggregators.
Yeah, and I've never thought twice about this guy, but he has been on my special finance Twitter list for years. You see him every damn day. If you are at all in the Twitter space, finance Twitter space, you see him all the time. And this guy tweets out, basically what he does, by the way, he's got like 850,000 followers. It's funny. His name is not Walter, as it turns out. His last name is not Bloomberg. He's not associated with Bloomberg whatsoever. And like you said, he's an aggregator. He takes actual news that is behind a paywall on like Bloomberg, and then he posts it on Twitter like super. He's probably got a bot doing it or something, so that he gets the engagement. And what he did was he misheard something and tweeted out that Trump was going to delay these tariffs by 90 days. Yeah. And the S&P ripped 400 points, just shot up 400 points, adding somewhere between $1 and $2 trillion in value in minutes. And then, the White House
and they're going,
they refuted it. They're like, no,
we're full steam ahead on this.
And then everything just kind of like started coming back down again. It was something to marvel at, because I got long as that. I saw his tweet on. I have a thing that auto refreshes my Twitter list every 20 seconds, and I saw his tweet, and I was like, well, that's really good news. And I saw the market starting to react, which told me, okay, between this and the way it's trading, this must be real. And then I see it in my various chat rooms. Everybody just starts to. It was really incredible. And I traded it in real time, and I went from being down $100,000 to up like $30,000 on the day. And then I ended up closing down, or I closed barely, I don't even remember, barely break even on the day.
Yeah, I think the last
thank you, Walter Bloomberg.
Stat I saw was it very quickly added like $3 trillion, and then by the end of the day, it just like knocked off $2.5 trillion.
And then this morning, we gapped up, I don't know, 3%, and kind of rallied a little bit, and then just slowly bled out. I believe the stat was, this is what's fun about these kind of hectic volatility times, is there's always records being broken. Today was a record for the most that the S&P has dropped intraday, I guess, from top to bottom.
Not always fun records, folks.
No, not always fun. Fun.
It's really turned into a meme coin market.
Yeah.
It's madness. Random tweet. Okay, drive it up.
Yeah. Let everything bid it up.
Go back down.
Tweet no good, go back down. Yeah, I like that. Oh, but me see tweet good. Tweet good, so buy everything. Yes. What does have me feeling like we're close to a bottom is the smell. Am I right? It's like, is that poop? Are we near a bottom? Anyway, the volatility index, the VIX, is in the 50s. That is very, very high. And historically, when the VIX is getting up there, it doesn't stay up there very long. Although in 2020, it went all the way to like 90. So there still is room to go. But you can argue that the worst has already been priced in, which is China reacting negatively. And I don't know. So it remains to be seen. And
couldn't it only get worse and worse? I mean,
it can, but at this point, I don't know. With all those other countries getting on our side,
Who's getting on our side?
Well, not getting on our side, but getting on the phone and trying to make a deal.
And Trump saying do more. I mean, he's asking for the impossible.
I know. That's what's infuriating.
They're negotiating with
an idiot.
It's, yeah.
Hey, everybody. We want to take another quick break to thank favorite sponsor, our longest running sponsor of the show, MOOMOO, baby. Huge shout out to Glenn over at MOOMOO. MOOMOO's great. There's a lot of stuff you can use out there, but why are you going to do that when you got MOOMOO? They got everything you need, folks. They've got all the news you can need. I mean, that's essential if you're a budding investor or trader, is having access to up to the minute free news.
Especially
like
how
MOOMOO
fast
does.
Everything's happening right now.
Oh man, these days with everything happening, and also with the way that trends are going, you need a little bit of help, right?
Yeah.
MOOMOO's got trend projection and an earnings hub. So before you'd have to bounce around between different apps and websites just to stay on top of the market. You tracking earnings reports, chart trends, and managing orders and all that stuff. But with MOOMOO, all of it is built into one platform. Not only that, but they got low fees. This is my favorite part, the best part. 0 commission on stocks, ETFs, and options. Plus margin rates starting at just 6.8%, so you can trade without extra costs and stay focused on your strategy. They've also got paper trading. If you want to tinker around without actually diving in with both feet yet, you can do that. And like I said, access to news. They've got free level 2 market data and advanced research tools. Anything you could possibly need right there at your fingertips. Why don't you tell them what they get when they sign up there, Emil?
If you thought the welcome bonus was good before, they've now got the 8.1% APY. That's their 4.1% APY base rate, and then 4% extra for 3 months.
Ooh.
But now check out these free stocks you're getting, all right? You deposit $100, you get 5 free stocks.
Go on.
You like the sound of that?
Yeah.
Well, what if I told you if you deposit $2,000, you get 25 free stocks?
Holy moly, Monticelli. I like that.
How about this?
It keeps going?
If you deposit $5,000, you get 60 free stocks, my man.
Wow.
And you can earn a 3% match on the first transfer amount. The match amount is limited to the first $20,000 up to $600.
That is incroyable.
My God.
Are you ready to take your trading to the next level? Join over 25 million users worldwide and start trading smarter with MOOMOO. Sign up using the link in the description. Use code BAYS60 and make a qualified deposit and claim your rewards now. Yeah, I wish someone would negotiate with a bullet, if you know what I'm saying.
They cannot achieve what he's asking for.
I know, like the Vietnam thing. Like, so only America's allowed to cheat.
What do you want them to buy?
Yeah.
More B2B SaaS from us? Like
Yeah.
What do we?
Well, and also in the case of Vietnam, can you blame another country to go around regulations so that they're not completely fucking themselves? This coming from Trump, who famously is like, oh, yeah, I took advantage of the tax code. I worked my way. That doesn't make me a cheat. It makes me smart. Like, get the fuck these people. Anyway, he tweeted then over the weekend, he made up a new word, which absolutely...
Not only a new word, he created a new party.
Yeah.
So for those of you who have been looking for a third party in this country...
We've got one.
Your prayers have been answered.
Yeah. He tweeted, the United States has a chance to do something that should have been done decades ago. Don't be weak. Don't be stupid. Don't be a panicking. And then in parentheses, a new party based on weak and stupid people. Be strong, courageous, and patient, and greatness will be the result.
I love that the little explanation because it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Don't be a panicking. A new thing I just made up.
It's a new party based on weak and stupid people.
Let us know if you guys are joining. We are looking for a nominee to run in 2028 for the Panicking Party.
What is our animal? A bunny?
What's the weakest, stupidest thing you could think of?
I don't know. A rabbit? Doug?
They're pretty weak and stupid.
No, Doug's not weak and stupid. He's great.
He's just stupid.
Yeah, he's just stupid. But wait. What's like a scaredy cat? A cat?
They can be pretty smart.
Yeah, but they're... yeah, you're right. I can't think of anything
and
weak
they're
and
manipulative.
stupid. A dodo bird?
No, we'll think of something weak
We'll
and
think of
stupid.
something good. Anyway, and then we had the European stocks dropped to a 16-month low. The Japan Nikkei got halted overnight. They hit their circuit breaker. Taiwan had their biggest one-day drop on record. My favorite is the Restoration Hardware CEO.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Oh my God. Can we click that, please? The RH CEO, the live reaction on a conference call.
Do we have that sound, Bill?
Yeah.
So Gary Friedman's on the call and apparently is notified in the middle of the call that his stock was down 25%. Yeah. Take a listen.
In this race, and I don't know where's our stock now? I mean, I guess the stock went down, based on some of the numbers we reported, and then it got killed because of oh really? Oh, okay. I just looked at the screen. I hadn't looked at it. It got hit when I think the tariffs came out, and everybody can see in our 10K where we're sourcing from, so it's not a secret, and we're not trying to disguise it by putting everything in an Asia bucket. So you can kind of figure it out and do the math. I think the people really that I feel worse for right now is all the manufacturers in China or people who are invested there. Like that, move manufacturing, move their lives.
Well,
anyway,
to your initial point.
Let's also check out what dipshit Howard Lutnick had to say. Lutnick talking about, this is him talking about Americans making iPhones.
Great American workers. You we are going to replace
on other
the
networks.
armies of millions of people. Well, remember, the army of millions and millions of human beings screwing in little screws to make iPhones. That kind of thing is going to come to America. It's going to be automated, and great Americans, the trade craft of America, is going to fix them, is going to work on them. They're going to be mechanics. There's going to be HVAC specialists. There's going to be electricians. The trade craft of America, our high school educated Americans, the core to our workforce is going to have the greatest resurgence of jobs in the history of America to work on these high-tech factories, which are all coming to America. That's what's going to build our next generation of America.
Are you
great American?
Man. I actually saw a great
millions of Americans
working on the robots,
putting in screws.
Yeah, into our iPhones. I saw a great.
That's what's so confusing. Everything is so confusing. It's like they talk about how you're gonna have millions of Americans just like working in factories, and then they're like, no, it's all gonna be robots. There's actually going to be
But we're going to be working on the robots. The high school educated tradespeople are going to be working on the robots. You know who's going to crush it is my hot little brother, because there ain't no robot or AI going to take his job away from him anytime soon. And he's in the dang union, the HVAC union. That boy can fix any air conditioner you throw at him.
Great.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it was, the BlackRock guy, Larry Fink. Was
Larry Fink.
I don't understand this obsession with the manufacturing. Like there's a huge dearth of trades jobs that people are just not filling, and everyone's desperate to bring back these manufacturing jobs. It's also, I don't see how this is going to happen. I think the reindustrializing the country is like a kind of insane goal that would take a very long time, even if they wanted to do it. Also, people have pointed out, like really good, Matt Brunig, he's a lawyer. He worked with the NLRB. He's a big labor guy. He was pointing out, I think that people, they don't necessarily miss the factory jobs. They miss like union protected jobs where they were provided for with pensions and health benefits, all these things, high pay where they could live middle class lives. And all of that's just been hollowed out. So, he pointed out even some of these factory jobs we have here, they're going to states where there's no labor protections. They're making, at a Honda factory in Alabama, they're not living middle-class lives.
Yeah.
And then he pointed out that, countries with high union density, somewhere like Denmark, a McDonald's employee makes more than someone like one of these factory workers at Honda in Alabama.
Two things, 2 points to that. Number one, I saw a great excerpt from this article about Trump's former advisor, Gary Cohn, talking to Trump about this tariff thing.
It's from that book.
Yeah, and he's saying...
And he's like, why do you even want this?
He's saying...
I just always had.
He asks him, what is it about this that what's the reason that you want these jobs back? Because he tries to remind him, like, most Americans don't want to work in a coal factory or a coal mine and get black lung. They don't want to work on assembly lines.
If you had the option between like a decent paying job doing that or a decent job working in an office, sitting down, not on your feet all day, they're going to make that choice.
And then the other thing I was going to say is a lot of these right-wing guys try to do a gotcha to people arguing against this whole thing by saying, oh, so you're okay with slave wages being paid in countries like Vietnam? And it's the opposite of what's going on in Denmark, in that it is a living wage in Vietnam because they've got a lower, just everything is less expensive there.
Yeah,
they're making the equivalent.
I can't speak to the like quality of life.
Sure, but it's not truly like actual slave labor, from what I understand. It's like
I think
they're
there's
making
a lot of exploitative practices all throughout the supply chain, and I don't know if that's a great argument against what the that seems like a Twitter reply.
I don't know, man.
Like, actually,
they should be happy they're making $1 a day.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? As long as it keeps the Air Force Ones at whatever, how much fucking Air Force Ones cost.
Because the global supply chain does present its own problems that need to be solved. And I don't know if that, but even outside of what you're saying about like the country's not going to be just run on office jobs, though. There are going to be jobs that have to be done. I think the fact of the matter is like labor needs to be protected and provided for, and be able to have jobs that like provide them a way to live a life with dignity. And I think even if it's just a McDonald's worker, I mean, you're seeing in this country, how many people does Starbucks employ in this country?
Probably 90 to 100,000.
They're all fighting for a living wage.
Yeah.
Not only a living wage, but like benefits that they can rely on. So
they used to be really good. They would offer part-time employees full health care coverage.
Yeah. And so like those McDonald's employees in Denmark he's talking about, they get, the 5 weeks off.
Yeah, it's really good. I get the 5 weeks off.
That the Denmark government guarantees them. They enjoy all kinds of work protection, pension plans.
I get the pension plan, the hamburger pension plan.
So I really wish there was a fight for like protecting the actual labor we have here, instead of just being like, well, if we can just bring these factory jobs back that for a lot of people were probably really difficult and tough jobs, and people, work themselves to the bone to achieve a middle-class lifestyle. It's got to be more than just that. Turn the factories back on, and everything will get better.
Hey, gang, we want to take one last quick break to talk a little bit about saving money, because God knows we're all going to need to.
Oh, isn't that going to be important? I mean,
you're going to want to pinch every penny with what's coming down the pike here.
And Rocket Money can help you do that.
Rocket Money can help you do that. Because let's all face it, folks. We've all experienced this. You sign up for something, you got a free trial or whatever, and then you forget, and then before you know it, you're checking your account, you're getting charged for stuff you didn't even know existed.
Or if you're like us and you get multiple credit cards and you're trying to hit minimums, you're putting stuff on there, you're putting stuff, and you're going, what the heck did I do to myself?
In comes Rocket Money. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. You can see all of your subscriptions in one place and know exactly where all your money's going. For the ones that you don't want anymore, Rocket Money can help you cancel them. They've got this great dashboard that gives you a clear view of all your expenses across all your accounts. You can create a personalized budget. You can get alerts if bills increase in price. And they'll even try to negotiate your bills lower for you if you don't want to cancel things outright.
Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all of the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/Baze today.
Well, I think that this is a good spot to talk about the some stocks that I think are interesting here. That this is not financial advice, I have to say, but these are ones that I've personally bought. And let's see. The first one is Reddit. I think that Reddit is nice. I like Reddit, and I use Reddit, and I'm trying to follow my own advice of like, hey, buy what you know. And I know Reddit, and I like it, and so I bought some. And I've been buying it on this way down here. And I think that it's a bit undervalued for what it is. The next one is this, I believe it's Energy Services of America. The ticker symbol is ESOA. This one and the next one are, got to give a hat tip to Citrini because they're ones that he's been talking about and researching. But Energy Services of America they do a lot of different things. Throughout the Midwest and the East Coast, primarily they're doing like energy infrastructure, and they're getting a lot of tailwinds from deregulation from the Trump administration and high demand for natural gas infrastructure. So I bought a bunch of that. Next one, also a Citrini pick. Alpha Technova, I believe is the name, and the ticker symbol is TKNO. So this one's interesting to me because, as he points out in his research, there's a lot of reshoring going on, in particular in America's biopharma supply chains. And to back that up, there have been announcements from Eli Lilly, Johnson & Johnson, Merck, Amgen about investing in domestic drug production. And what this company does is they have custom and essential ingredients for therapies and production facilities. It's like state-of-the-art stuff. They basically provide the ingredients for all this stuff. All right. Speaking of drugs, got to go with my dandruff name, Arcutis, ARQT. That one's been holding up quite nicely relative to the weakness in the market. And I do still be having dandruff, so I do still be using the foam. And I have a lot of it. And I'm also looking to buy some Robinhood, lastly, because I was seeing all the cool new tools and stuff that they have, and I think that that's very interesting. And they are kind of leading the whole mobile trading space.
How do you feel about lingerie and makeup companies? Isn't that a big recession buy?
Lingerie specifically?
I believe they say that they do well in recessions because
everybody's horny.
No, because people want to have a way to feel good about themselves, but with a way that doesn't break the bank.
Yeah.
And
well, in that case, you would have to see if they were made in America or not, because like I'm sure Elf, probably comes from Vietnam and China. Same with Victoria's Secret. What does do well is alcohol.
Yeah, no, I know.
Devices, yeah. Sure. Philip Morris, alcohol.
I was trying to be
Dollar
a bit
General.
more. Yeah.
This research company was saying that Netflix is recession resistant, which I thought was an interesting take, because you can still pay only $7.99 or $8.99 for the super cheap, the ad version.
Yeah, and you're gonna have to do something when you're at home unemployed.
Exactly. Going to be on
Fucking
Reddit.
Tragic.
Going to be on Reddit. Spotify, they for some reason have as recession resistant, which I kind of disagree with. I would think that people would cut that. Uber, they are saying, is
especially
now,
people are like, fuck it, I'll just put it on with the commercials.
Yeah. You ever heard of the radio, folks? There's Uber, which they are describing as a utility now, which I kind of disagree with. DoorDash for convenience. I guess that's kind of true. People still use that no matter what, especially now that they have like Klarna stuff.
I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't just cook at home. It's much cheaper.
Yeah. This research company also dislikes stocks exposed to discretionary spending like Shopify, Airbnb, Booking.com, Expedia, eBay, Etsy, The Trade Desk, Snapchat, and Roku.
Why do they call Roku and not?
I think because of the hardware.
I have no idea.
Because you gotta buy the little stick or whatever. Roku stick? I don't know, man. Anyway, that's what I am watching and buying some of, so we'll see how that plays out. Do you have any that you're watching, or you just dollar cost averaging into your Bitcoin?
No, I'm still just also doing VTSAX and VTIAX.
Did you buy any Europe names?
Well, just the international fund.
Oh, nice.
But just sticking with the plan, you know what I mean?
I do worry about, I was texting a friend about this, that I'm getting legitimately worried that America's reign as like top dog investment wise is over. And I'm not the only one thinking that now. Dude, I'm starting to see other people writing articles about it, that it's, hey.
There's no worry. It's over. You don't have to worry about it.
I don't know if it's over, but.
Buddy, it's not. Even if he like somehow rights the ship, he's torched the reputation, the trust.
That can be rebuilt. It just takes a while.
Sure. But it's going to be a lot of pain. I mean, it's going to be years long before he's out, and the international community is going to make new agreements and reshape the way this goes. I mean, China was already making a lot of headway in becoming a global superpower, working with other countries and stuff like that. What is it called? With the
Silk Road?
No, the Belt and Road program, or whatever they have. And America was able to like push off a lot of that just from like the goodwill they've built up over the last
Belt and Road Initiative.
You know, things like when China was they offered the EU to do all their 5G infrastructure, and it would have been cheaper cost to the EU, but America was like, no, we're not going to let you get in bed with China and all this stuff. Everyone's going to be like, fuck off. We don't.
Yeah. Oh, so you can then lord it over us like an abusive
Right.
father or something?
And make these nonsensical decisions that like we can't even keep up with.
Yeah.
Like if there was at least a plan here, if it was an unfair deal, but a plan, you're like, okay, I guess we can go along with this. But they're like, we don't even know how to do what you want us to do.
Yeah.
We're coming to you hat in hand. We'll do the things you want. And they're like, no, more.
Yeah. That's probably a good place to now look at how the billionaires out there are quite divided on this.
I mean, also just one more thing on that. Not
What?
like I feel like you can't underestimate the Chinese government at this point too. I mean, they're operating with a plan and trying to execute it. And I mean, this is also like, this is based in their history, right? Like that people are now saying like, oh, America's century of humiliation. That is based off of China's century of humiliations and the unfair deals they took after, the Opium Wars and the deals they agreed to after crushing the Boxer Rebellion. There was a national sentiment of like, this is never going to happen to us again.
Mm.
And like they are managing their economy in a way that compared to us, it's just an absolute joke.
Yeah. Fun times ahead. Well, crybaby Bill Ackman spent the weekend tweeting a lot, and I fortunately wasn't seeing a lot of it because I didn't have very good signal out in the desert. But from what I did see and was catching up on, Bill Ackman is saying that Trump is losing the confidence of business leaders and should pause what he's doing. And he says if this continues, business investment will grind to a halt, people will stop spending, and we will damage our reputation for years. Meanwhile, Elon Musk was...
Which is, I mean, it's so like before that, he was talking about how like it's another master move by Trump,
masterful,
saying
gambit.
the absolute craziest things. Like sometimes convincing your enemy that you're a fucking moron is the best thing you can do.
Yeah.
And now he's fully like, please, Mr. Trump, call a ceasefire before
this actually
it's too
might
late.
be bad. Yeah, Elon Musk he was getting interviewed somewhere. I don't know where the hell he was, but he was calling in via Zoom and was saying that he wants a zero tariff situation and a free trade zone for Europe and the United States. We don't need to play the clip because I can't stand his fucking voice anymore. He called Peter. So then Peter Navarro was on TV saying that Tesla he made a mistake. He said that Tesla is an auto assembler and not a car manufacturer. And then Elon Musk, of course, had to chime in and call him dumber than a sack of bricks and an R word. But then,
of course.
Meanwhile, we got to play this clip. So then Elon Musk was live streaming him playing some stupid fucking video game. And he's on his private jet trying to showcase the capabilities of Starlink. And his chat was just getting spammed with people calling him. Let's just play the clip. You ruined the country just like you ruined all your marriages.
Anyone spamming the chat?
He's spamming the chat.
And it was from a guy called Elon Musk is pathetic.
Yeah.
Look at this dumb, ugly. Why is your Tesla company falling apart?
And he just looks so defeated. He drowns out the hate with Grimes, his ex.
Elon, it's me, Ashley St. Clair. I have no other means of contacting. Please pay your child support. Thank you, Elon.
Look at his shitty face, man.
Israel killed JFK. Israel killed JFK. Israel killed JFK.
You have no real friends and will die alone. You have no real friends and will die alone. Just spamming the chat. And then he's had enough. And he just...
Israel killed JFK. Die.
Trans rights. Die. And the username is Elon is a pedophile.
Lost connection. Connection lost.
Connection lost.
I'm
Turns
having
out
poll connection. Fuck you. All right, so yeah, he's starting to kind of feel or sense. It's interesting him kind of being so close in Trump's ear as an advisor. Him saying that he thinks that we should open up trade with the European Union. I wonder if he's speaking out of turn.
Well, this is also coupled with his very poor performance in Wisconsin, where he went out, did
tried
his
to buy another
damnedest,
election.
tried to buy another election, was literally offering people $1 million, and got absolutely routed, embarrassed, and so much so that Trump floated some news stories about him. Elon's going to be on his way out from any kind of role in the administration, and so it seems like the two of them are kind of, I don't know,
Not the closest of butt
locked
buddies
in
anymore.
this.
Yeah. You know who had the worst takes was Chamath Palihapitiya.
Of course, you can
This
rely on
guy's
him.
the biggest fucking asshole. He tweeted, "The stock market is crashing. Trump has ruined everything. This is the end." Or, to quote the great Dave Chappelle, all right, already you've lost me. Quote, "And hear me out when I say this, you could shut the fuck up. The stock market has simply wrung out Biden's last gasp of free money before he lost the election. We are back to where we were a year ago." That's really fucking rich coming from a guy who made hundreds of millions of dollars during said term of
And was
free
pointing
money.
out that this was America responding to Trump's guidance on all of this stuff. He has tweets like literally talking about the rejection of Bidenomics and all this fucking
He's
bullshit.
just such a fucking piece of shit, this guy.
Also, what a loser! Like
Just a
to quote the
total
great
loser.
Donald Trump. Also, Dave Chappelle has a joke, literally talking about this, where he's going like, "What the hell is Trump doing? Like, we don't want to make the Nikes here. I don't want to get a job."
Yeah. You also had JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon saying in his annual shareholder letter that the faster the trade disputes are resolved, the better. He warned that tariffs will slow growth and insinuated that stocks might still be overpriced given the rising risk of recession. So that's not very
Oh wait,
good.
I put it in the wrong thing. But can you click that? This was him in January. This was Jamie Dimon talking about the tariffs in January, which is I think relevant.
An economic tool. That's it. They're an economic weapon, depending how you use it and why you use it and stuff like that. And, people argue, is it inflationary and non-inflationary? I would put in perspective, if it's a little inflationary, but it's good for national security, so be it. I mean, get over it. National security trumps a little bit more inflation.
Now, I get where he's going with that, because I think he was assuming that Trump wouldn't come out.
He was assuming they were going to do this in a much more
in a sensible way.
Which there is, like, as we were saying on the live stream, like there is a way to do this, to use it as an economic tool, to be more surgical with it, and to bolster certain sectors and protect some and whatever. But this is just, there's no rhyme or reason to it.
Yeah.
But that's to believe that though back in January, to put that kind of trust in this person is what bothers me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of people always, it's the Charlie Brown in the football. Everybody, all the people who back Trump constantly assume that, oh, this time he can be trusted. This time he's not going to fuck it up. This time he's not going to be a complete asshole. I don't know. It must be exhausting. I mean, I can imagine. Anyway, Larry Fink, the BlackRock guy, said, most CEOs I talk to would say we are probably in a recession right now. So that's pretty cool. But meanwhile, the jobs report that came out last week, we added, I want to say 220,000 jobs.
Yeah, on like
compared to
144,000.
Yeah, so I mean that's a silver lining, I guess.
Yeah, but isn't that report based on data previous to this news?
Yeah. So
that's not.
It remains to be seen. Just like how there's a lot of data that's going to come out, it's going to be tough because a lot of people are
going to rush out to buy shit.
They already are.
Yeah.
They're rushing out to buy things. There was a guy talking about how he went to Best Buy this weekend to buy a laptop charger, and it was loaded with people buying crap.
I'm going to the Greek import store and getting a bunch of olive oil before that stuff goes crazy.
Yeah.
Getting as many cans as I can fit in my Crosstrek.
Even
getting the honey too.
Even the faithful to Trump are quite torn. Ben Shapiro was calling the tariffs.
Well, yeah, so that's his little like army of MAGA faithful that's been the funniest to watch.
Yeah. Let's watch this stupid ass.
Yesterday, President Trump declared that it was, in fact, Liberation Day. His giant tariff policy that he just dropped on the market unilaterally, probably unconstitutionally. Trump's reciprocal tariffs impose hundreds of billions of dollars in new taxes on Americans, be the largest tax increase since the Revenue Act of 1968. One of the biggest tax increases on American consumers in the history of America. And it's going to cost American consumers. It will cost American producers who use inputs from other countries. The Dow Jones Industrial Average plummeted immediately more than 1,000 points. The S&P 500 plummeted more than 3%. The NASDAQ plummeted almost 4.5%. There are real-world implications for this sort of stuff. Trade wars are, in fact, not good and not easy to win, particularly if you don't actually have a plan. It is predicated on a bad idea of how international trade works. A fundamental misunderstanding of trade deficits.
Oh, you don't say.
Trade deficits they're an accounting procedure. Trade deficits have pretty much nothing to do with the health of an economy. I can name you a period in American history where there was a fairly large surplus in America's balance of trade. The entire Great Depression.
It is honestly, it's genuinely shocking to see him kind of just talk sense into people of like this trade deficits thing. And because if you click the Benny Johnson one.
Oh God, this guy's such a massive piece of shit.
Before you even play it, I mean, good for Ben Shapiro for at least like having some intellectual honesty there, because what's happening, I mean, so much of this, right-wing media sphere it's very easy. I mean, the playbook is like, okay, what woke thing am I pissed at today? Let's fire up the cameras. Let's talk about how this is bad for America writ large because of whatever racist, sexist, transphobic thing you've got for the day. And I mean, you're seeing when you were going over to Fox News while all this was happening, of course they're focusing on trans athletes. It's their bread and butter. And this is what they're having to do when, they've got to respond to fans who are like, wait, but what am I supposed to think about this? What am I supposed to think about this trade war stuff? And here's Benny Johnson's response.
Losing money costs you nothing. This is just the reality of life. You're gonna
pause it. How the fuck, even starting there, losing money costs you nothing?
It actually costs you a lot.
Yeah, it costs you the amount that you lost. Fucking moron. If I have $100 and I lose $50, I've lost $50. Cocksucker.
Go back a little bit.
This is just the reality of life. You're gonna were you young and dumb? How much money did you lose? Everyone loses money. Everyone loses money. It costs you nothing. In fact, it builds quite a bit of character. In fact, you learn a lot of lessons actually by losing money. Losing your character costs you everything. Losing your country costs you everything. There are things you can't get back. The government can print more money, and it will. Sadly, that's just the reality. It's Fugazi. It's just that there's a boom and a bust every 10 years, and it's been that way since the invention of modern.
I mean, you can pause it. It just goes on like this fucking bullshit. Man. I just can't believe it. He's like,
this guy has no soul.
What are you, young and dumb? You lost all my. He's pitching to a good thing has happened to you. You're going to experience hard times, and you're going to have character growth because of it. Donald Trump has gifted you with character growth. You cannot. Once you lose your country, it's over. Losing money, whatever.
It's wild to see the total 180 that all of these guys, you would think that it would expose them to their audience as for who they really are and what they really are, which is nothing more than propaganda mouthpieces to sing the praises of Trump, no matter the cost, no matter what's happening. There could be nukes like on their way to drop on our heads and they'd be going, actually, this is really good. I mean, guys, get over it. You're going to die really fast. What's the big deal?
Yeah.
You're making a sacrifice for the greater good.
Watching someone try to spin you losing your money as a good thing is particularly
I mean, and they were
enraging.
we had to listen to these assholes.
Well, that's the thing.
Bitching about shit for the longest time about the price of eggs, the price of gas, the price of every fucking thing going up, blaming it on Biden as if he's got a lever in his office that he can pull to make things drop. Just that on its face, a fundamental misunderstanding of how things work. But now that their guy's in power and now that the tables have turned, they're now making it, oh, well, this is just a little temporary setback and something that you, as a patriot, should be willing to endure for the greater good. And it's just fucking exhausting. It's disingenuous. It's intellectually dishonest. Will any of their fans and any of their viewers wake up to this? Highly fucking doubtful.
Well, I don't know. I mean, so the approval rating finally went negative for Trump. It's down to 43%, which is
all right,
which
that's
is
good.
surprising. But people pulled up. Benny Johnson himself had like so many tweets about groceries. Like Kamala's gonna fuck up your groceries. Like
that's the thing. They're always telling on themselves,
right? But so this is people probably saw it over the weekend or something. He had maybe some viral tweet that he lost $7 million. This is an update on Dave Portnoy. Let's see what he has to say about his.
Boy. I went super viral when I said I lost $7 million. I'd kill to be back to losing $7 million. I haven't even looked. If I had to guess, I'm down in these last 3 days, probably close to 20. I don't know, like 10, 15% of my net worth, poof. But I'm still here. That's the game. That's what I'm in. Like, do I like it? No. Am I crying? Am I like, oh, woe is me. I wish I voted for Kamala. No. Do I wish this didn't go down like this? Yes. Am I in this to make money? Yes. Do I wish I had that money in my investment portfolio? Yeah.
Jeez, dude. I mean, just to hire a fucking professional.
This is on both sides. Like, so many of the people I'm seeing, everyone's so pissed at the other side that everyone is genuinely willing to like suicide pact. Let's ride this to the fucking bottom. And so it's not just, the right wing people. This is presumably a liberal, only 85 to 90% to go. Every single one of these chuds voted for Trump on the presumption that his policies would only affect the people that they wanted to suffer. It's actually so cathartic that they're also suffering.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
in fact, let's go back to the outline.
I really think we're all willing to just like
play that MAGA faithful dorks.
Kill ourselves so we can see the other people die as well.
Yeah, here's this guy tweeted out, I have no 401k. You think I or my friends give a fuck?
Right.
We voted for a cleansing fire to burn it all down. We know we can rebuild, for our ancestors built this, but our enemies rely on the infrastructure as it is. Burn it and they crumble. And I feel like that perfectly. We already knew that, though, about a lot of Trump's base, at least in particular the young men.
The response, you are a loser, man. You're going to get poorer and angry and nothing in your life will actually improve. Okay, so if nothing will improve as it is, I will happily see it all reduced to charcoal.
Yeah, it's
Jesus
just a bunch of guys being,
Christ.
They're all the Joker. They're just, I don't care. Whatever. I have nothing, so I'm going to make you all miserable with me. And I get it. I can understand if I were miserable and broke and had nothing going for me and I was an angry, bitter young man.
But there's also glee on the... seeing that clip of Kamala fucking cackle about the like I told you so thing was...
I didn't see that.
Like...
Is that this weekend?
It was just like... let me see if I can find it.
I did like that. There was a good... pretty fun use of AI I saw this weekend, which was Kamala and Hillary riding around in a pink. Did you see that?
Yeah, I sent you the AI thing. Yeah.
People stay quiet. We are seeing organizations stay quiet. We are seeing those who are capitulating to clearly unconstitutional threats. And these are the things that we are witnessing each day in these last few months in our country. And it understandably creates a great sense of fear. Because, there were many things that we knew would happen. Many things. I'm not here, so I told you so. But I'll say this: fear.
I mean, and I think that's just. I mean, rather than learning any lessons about like what people were angry about, why they maybe lost an election that should have been a layup for them. Once again, rather than do that, leadership of the party, Chuck Schumer himself said, The plan is basically let things get as bad as they can, and they'll come running back to us. They'll have to.
Yeah.
We don't want to change, even though people didn't like what we had to offer. We'll just, look, things are going to get bad for people. They'll have no choice. What else are they going to do? Vote for the panicans?
Well, I'll be the leader of the panicans, so vote for me for sure. So let's, in our last few minutes here, let's look at the impact, shall we? Let's burn through this. Oh, man. According to Stand Up Maths, the guy on YouTube, the inflation could go to as much as 10%. So I hope he's wrong. Then we've got layoffs already starting. Stellantis, the auto manufacturer, has started laying people off. Whirlpool, the what do you call those? Appliance manufacturers started laying people off. Cleveland Cliffs, which is a domestic steel company, has already started laying people off. And Ski-Doo. This is devastating to me. Ski-Doo.
Won't someone think of the jet skis?
Won't someone say jet skis?
And it's not just jet skis, it's snowmobiles too.
It's snowmobiles, but they're made by Bombardier, which is the airplane manufacturer. They also do Bombardier recreational products. And they told investors in a March 26th earning call to expect a $40 million impact on the business. So that's one. So that's not fun. And then the gamers suffer. Won't someone think of the gamers? The Nintendo Switch 2.
Nintendo came out with huge news. Nintendo Switch 2 is finally coming.
Mm-hmm.
People were already a little peeved. Do you know why? Because they were upping the price from, I guess when it came out in 2017, it was about $300, and now it's going to, the new price tag is going to be about $450.
Oh my God. Can you imagine asking mom and dad for a little bit more money for your Nintendo Switch? That's going to be humiliating for so many of these gamers.
But now they're pausing the whole thing with this uncertainty. Also, you know, it's very funny when I was looking all this up. Do you know what the Nintendo of America president's name is?
Is it Japanese?
No. It's Doug Bowser. You guys got
no way.
You guys got Bowser running your goddamn company?
What? President Doug Bowser. That's insane. What? Wow. He kind of looks like Bowser a little bit.
I was reading some article on The Verge or something, and I was going, okay, you mean to tell me
Doug Bowser? That's pretty effing cool, man. That's pretty cool.
Isn't that a little dangerous though?
Why? Because Bowser's the bad guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's still part of the universe.
Maybe he's trying to ruin the company from the inside.
Nah, he's not like that. He just wants to kidnap the princess. So keep your eye on that guy's hard drives, I guess.
That would be like Chevy hiring Henry Ford's ghost for president.
Freddie Ford is Charlie Cadillac is the president of GMC. Anyway,
well, that wouldn't be that weird though, because Cadillac's a GM.
I hate myself
family,
for saying that.
so,
then Nomura, which is an investment bank, came out with a note saying there is real risk that this administration's policy is on a path to undo 30 years of globalization and jeopardize decades more of global alliances. So that's good. That's good. Because we said, no one's going to want to trade with us anymore if they don't trust us, and also if we're being unfair and mean.
Not only that, American companies cannot keep track of what they're supposed to do. I mean, amid all this uncertainty, even big corporations are obviously seeing this. Nintendo's making their choice. Microsoft canceled plans for 2 data centers in Ohio. They're going to lose. They're going to lose a bunch of jobs there, not just in the people who are going to be working at the plants, but also the construction of those plants.
Yeah,
it's just going to reverberate. Talk to anyone with a small business who operates on a small margin and relies on stability. It's just going to be disastrous for people.
But hopefully in the interim, we'll see some relief bouncing going on in the markets, because it's pretty much pricing in right now. It seems to be pricing in the worst case scenario. And when that happens, there's not a whole lot more downside that could happen. I don't know.
Also, there's so much that we didn't cover because there's so much stuff going on.
Yeah.
But just this element of, you're talking about the market. I feel like people are misunderstanding what's going on with the market. They're just going like, big deal. Like anyone who's saying like, well, I don't have any money in the market, so it doesn't fucking matter to me.
It does.
It does to you. Like that is a response to whatever the industry feels is going to happen. They are responding to like how the outlook of all of these decisions is going to impact industry in America.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be less money available for all of these companies. When they have to start making cutbacks, the first thing they're going to do is it's going to go to labor. They're going to shrink the labor size. There's going to be massive cuts. That means on top of all of this, there's going to be less spending on all kinds of things. It's just going to be a horrible decision, like just a horrible situation for people. It doesn't mean just because you don't own any stocks that you don't have to worry about what's going on over there. It portends a much worse situation.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
There's so many like confusing narratives here.
It's not that you shouldn't. So I just want to say though that telling people that they should care is a little tough because obviously there's nothing you can do about it, and I can understand the allure of some kind of
not only
apathy,
not
but
care, but not cheer it on.
Yeah.
I mean,
You definitely don't want to be cheering it on.
You're like, let's ride this thing to the bottom. I mean, also whether you like it or not, we've talked about this many times on the show. The way we've structured this current system, the only way to have any kind of retirement plan in this country relies on the strength of the American stock market.
Yeah.
So we're all just lighting our own chance at future prosperity on fire.
I thought you were going to say lighting our own farts on fire.
That's basically what we're doing.
Yeah, that's basically what we're doing.
Yeah, the trying to like counteract all of these insane narratives. So much stuff just based on pure hatred. I'm sure you saw the remember the like, I don't even know what they're saying. Those women in the office who are like in a circle, like ba 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 da ba, za 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 da da, pretty girl and a ba ba ba.
Yeah.
Well, some guy reposted it. It went viral of like, tariffs or this tariffs, and it's just such a
unbelievable.
You really can't discount how much just
hate men have.
Yeah, just so much of this movement is based on misogyny and just like, and of course that Derek guy, Die Workwear guy on Twitter, who's always dunking on people, reposted it. He's always got receipts. That the company that was doing that, it's an Australian skincare company. Those women are part of, and that Gen Z whatever, and a boss. She started an Australian skincare company that makes their products with Australian labor in Australia. And it's like, what? What do you want them to do?
They're annoying women. They're being annoying at work.
You're just pissed.
They're being annoying at work.
Because women have jobs and are having fun. And I get it. He's probably if he saw it, he'd be like, it was just a joke, Lib. You're like fucking overreacting, blah, blah, blah. It's just this fucking sentiment is just so frustrating when you're talking about watching everything burn.
Yeah. Well, folks, let us know what you think in the comments. I think now's a good time to wrap up and go into the bonus, benandamealshow.com. Stay dry out there. Keep your chin up. And, you know, don't I
would say don't fall into this apathy trap. You know,
apathy trap.
Someone has to like fight against it. It's easy to just want to create an entire personality around hoping the other side loses like everyone else is doing. But that
we're all in the same boat.
Yeah, we're just sinking ourselves. I mean, this is just, yeah.
Okay, folks. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the bonus.
Coming up on this week's episode of benandamealshow.com.
Oh my God. You know me, I brought all my shit in grocery bags.
Which is just psychotic.
No,
just
it's not.
Get a fucking duffel bag.
I didn't want to put it in a duffel. I because I have grocery bags. Why can't I use grocery bags?
Because they're not very sturdy.
They are sturdy. They're double bagged. Yeah, folks. When I go away for like 2 days, I'm putting my shit in paper grocery bags. I hate it. Yeah.
Because
I get use out of the bags, and I toss them when I'm done because they're all wrinkled up. And I'm like, now you've served too much of it. And I just said, I'll just sleep out on the couch. It's fine. But I woke up on the first night and I had to pee, and I didn't want to disturb anybody by going into the bathroom. So I just peed in the kitchen sink.
What?
What's the matter?
Just go to the bathroom.
No, I didn't want to disturb anybody.
It's a crazy move.
I was like, I'll just be quiet out here.
That's
just piss in the
I
sink.
don't like that. Does that make you his biological father?
No, because that would imply that I fucked a dog.
Well, so you're his adoptive father.
Even though I did have a crush on the dog from the movie Babe when I was a kid.
You didn't fuck it though.
No, of course I didn't fuck the dog. I wouldn't even. How would I have had access to the dog?
You brought it up.
By the way.
So don't.
Yeah, but I didn't imply that you made it sexual. You
said I did not fuck a dog, even though I had a crush on X dog.